Hi everyone, Monisha here. In my previous video, I had completed the power of accommodation and the function of different parts of human eye. In this video, I will be completing defects of vision and their correction and refraction of light through a prism. I hope this episode will be interesting for you. Let us start the session. We know that human eye is a wonderful thing. Without that, we can't see this beautiful world clearly. Sometimes the eye may gradually lose its power of accommodation. Power of accommodation is the ability to see the nearby and far objects. But sometimes we lose the vision. In such condition, the person cannot see the object distinctly and comfortably. The vision becomes blurred due to refractive defects. There are many defects of eyes, namely hypermetropia, myopia, presbyopia, astigmatism, cataract, etc. But these can be cured. But before that, precaution is better than cure. We have to take care of our eyes properly. Let us have a quick recap of human eye, and also we shall learn about all the defects and the correction which can be made to see clearly. Let us start. Human eye. We know that lens is an optical device which transmits and refracts light. Our eyes too have lenses which enable us to see objects around us. Let's study how a human eye works. At the very front of the eye, there is a transparent structure called the cornea which focuses the incoming light. Behind is the cornea is the iris which has a circular opening which is called the pupil. The pupil expands or contracts depending on the amount of light entering the eye. Situated behind the pupil is a colorless, transparent, crystalline convex lens surrounded by the ciliary muscles. The muscles hold the lens in place and help to change the focal length by adjusting the curvature of the lens. To view a distant object, muscles relax and the lens becomes thin and its focal length increases. To view a nearby object, muscles contract and the lens becomes thick and its focal length decreases. This ability of the lens to adjust its focal length is called power of accommodation of the eye. The image formed by the lens is a real inverted image of the object that strikes then on the retina. The light sensitive cells on the retina convert the light into electrical signals that are sent to the brain using optic nerves. The brain converts electrical signals into image we see. The minimum distance at which the eye can see the object clearly is called near point or least distance of distinct vision. In a normal eye, it is 25 centimeter. The farthest distance up to which the eye can see objects clearly is called far point of the eye. In a normal eye, it is between 25 centimeter to infinity. The eyes can gradually lose their power of accommodation, resulting in blurred vision due to refractive defects. There are 4 common refractive defects of vision. We can see how it can be corrected. The first defect we look at is hypermetropia, also known as far or long-sightedness, in which nearby objects cannot be seen clearly as the image is formed behind the retina. This is due to the increase in focal length of the lens and decrease in the length of the eyeball. This defect can be corrected using convex lens of suitable focal length. The next defect is myopia or short-sightedness, in which the distant object cannot be seen clearly since the images are formed in front of the retina. This defect is due to increase in curvature of the lens or due to the increase in length of the eyeball. This defect can be corrected by a concave lens of suitable focal length. The third defect is presbyopia that we seen in elderly people. Here, nearby objects cannot be seen clearly due to increase in the distance of the nearest point. This is due to the weakening of the ciliary muscles or due to the decreased flexibility of the lens. This can be corrected using convex lens of suitable focal length. At at time, both nearby and faraway objects cannot be seen properly, and this can be corrected by using bifocal lens. The upper part is concave, which corrects the distant vision, and the lower part is convex, correcting the near vision. Astigmatism is another common problem seen when image may be clearly focused on the retina on horizontal plane but not in vertical plane. This defect may be due to some irregular curvature of the cornea or lens. This can be corrected using lens with cylindrical lens. Let us have a recap. Things to remember. The ability of the lens of an eye to see the near and distant object by adjusting its focal length is called power of accommodation of the eye. In hypermetropia, nearby objects cannot be seen clearly. This can be corrected by using a convex lens of suitable focal length. In myopia, faraway objects cannot be seen clearly, and that can be corrected by using concave lens. In presbyopia, both nearby and distant object cannot be seen clearly. This can be corrected by using bifocal lens. These are the important aspects in human eye and the defects. I hope you understood this. A prism is a solid with two triangular bases and three rectangular sides. It is made of glass. You can see the rectangular sides A, B, C, D and A, D, E, F are inclined at an angle. This angle is called angle of prism. This angle can be acute, right angle or obtuse. A prism with an equilateral triangular base is called an equilateral prism. It has an angle of 60 degrees. Prisms can be made of different materials like plastic, glass or even liquid. The light undergoes refraction twice when it passes through two surfaces of the prism. One when the light enters the prism and the next when the light leaves the prism. I hope you understood what is a prism and how the light incidents and refracts from the prism. Now we will learn about the deviation or the angle of deviation happens when light refracts from the prism. This experiment shows a refraction through glass prism and finding out the deviation form. And this is one of the important experiment. The things required for this experiment is a prism. Here we are using a prism whose angle is typically 60 degree and a glass prism, a protractor, a scale, some softboard pins, eraser and pencil. So let's begin the experiment. This experiment is same as that of refraction through glass slab which was done in the previous videos. Here now we have to take two softboard pins and we have to pin it on the softboard so that the A4 sheet should not alter. If it alters, the angle of deviation and the angle and the sides will change. 4 softboard pins are there which we'll be using in our later experiments. So now first what we have to do is in the A4 sheet, exactly on the center of the A4 sheet, we have to draw the outline of the glass prism. We have to be careful while writing this outline because if the angle or the side varies, then what happens? The deviation will also varies. So first thing is we need to draw carefully the outline of glass prism. The glass prism is a transparent material where dispersion and refraction of light takes place. So this is the outline of glass prism. So after writing this outline of glass prism, we have to draw an incident ray to this. Incident ray, I am taking it as 60 degree. For first, I will be taking a point to that. I will be marking a point so that we get an angle of incidence. So point, let it be here. We have to place the center of the protractor to that point. so that we will measure the angle of incidence. Here the normal line is 90 degree. This is the normal line. Let us mark a point here, and from the normal we have to count this 60 degree, 10 degree each, so that is 30 degree. Okay, if we count it from the edge, it will be 30. From the normal 90 degree we have to count the 60, not from the edge, so that will be normal line. So that we have to draw the normal line now, which is to 90 degree. From 90 we have to draw the 60 degree angle. So this is the angle of incidence where we will be joining a line. So this is angle of incidence. Now what we have to do is we have to take two pins. Here I am taking two green softboard pins. We have to place it one after the other on the A4 sheet, that is exactly on the incident ray, so that the two softboard pins should be in exact alignment, that is in straight line. Put back the prism back on the outline, so that we have to continue the experiment. After this, we have to see the image of the pins from this side. So when we see the image from this side, exactly the size of the two pins, we will be getting an image this side. It will be in straight line. When we are seeing it, when we are viewing it from this side, we have to see those two pins, the image of those two pins in exact alignment to the image formed here. At that image formed, we will be writing the emergent ray. The emergent ray is the ray which comes out of the glass prism. Now in order to write this, I will be taking two yellow softboard pins, and I will be placing it in alignment, perfect alignment with the green pins. So when I am viewing it in this side, I will be seeing the straight line of the pins, and according to that I will be placing these two pins. So now I am placing the yellow softboard pin which is in straight line with the green pin only when we are seeing it from the either side of the green pin. And those pins should be in exact alignment in straight line. Now I will show you how this is in alignment with the green pins when we are looking from that side. It is in perfect alignment. So these two pins are in straight line to the green pins only when you are seeing on the other side of the pin. So now we have to see the perfect straight line alignment from either side of the glass prism. This is due to the refraction of light, the bending of the ray of light. See, we can see the exact straight line. According to that, we have to place these yellow pins so that it will be in straight line to the green pins. And the yellow pins signifies the angle of emergence, and the green pins signifies the angle of incidence. You can see a perfect alignment, a straight line between all the four pins. So now what we have to do is, we have to remove all the pins and also the prism to continue the experiment. After removing the yellow pins, first we have to remove the yellow pins so that to point out the emergence. Point those two pinpoints so that we can draw the angle of emergence with a straight line. It should be in alignment with the two pins. So this line is the angle of emergence, and this line is the normal. Angle of emergence and angle of incidence both have normal. So this is angle of emergence E and this is angle of incidence I. So after this we have to join these two lines, which is the angle of refraction, because the line is coming from the incident ray moving inside refracted ray, and then it comes outside, which will be refracted ray. But it is not a straight line, it is a deviated line. This is angle of 60 degree. The prism is in 60 degree which we have taken. Now we have to extend the angle of incidence forward, and we have to take the angle of emergence extended backwards so that it will touch the angle of incidence. We have to extend both the lines, and this angle is the angle of deviation. The deviation formed when angle of incidence and angle of emergence takes place, which you have to measure by using a protractor scale. Exactly at the center, we have to place the center of the protractor, and the straight line, the 180-degree line should be on the angle of emergence extended line, the straight line on this emergence line, so that we will get the degree of deviation, the angle of deviation from which the angle of incidence and angle of emergence takes place. So it is around 42 degree exact. Angle of deviation is 42 degree. Now we have to find out the angle of incidence and angle of emergence. We know that in the starting point itself we have took the angle of incidence as 60 degree from the normal. So it is 60 degree. Angle of incidence is 60 degree. Now we are going to measure the angle of emergence also by placing the protractor on that normal line and also on the extended line. So here from normal we have to count it. So it is around 35 degree exact. So from normal, so 10, 20, 30 and 35. So the angle of emergence is 35 degree. The angle of emergence is 35 degree. So this experiment shows the refraction through glass prism. Thanks a lot for watching my videos. If you have any suggestions, queries or comments, comment me on the comment section below. This was the last topic of this session. There is one more part in human eye where I will be completing atmospheric refraction, scattering of light, Tyndall effect, and the color of the sunrise and sunset, and why the sky is blue in color. So these are the last topics which I will be covering in my next upcoming video. Thanks for watching my videos. Keep supporting like this. Monisha Pulikatra signing off.